You embarrassed me tonight. You talked too much and made everything about yourself. Honestly, I don't think you're the kind of person I thought you were.
I heard you. That silence wasn't weakness. You've been shrinking yourself for months, and you didn't even notice. There's a name for what's happening to you, and a way out that doesn't require losing her or losing yourself.
You started changing small things first. You stopped telling that story about your college road trip because she said it sounded immature. You ordered differently at restaurants because she raised an eyebrow at your usual choice. You laughed quieter. You texted back faster. You dressed in colors she preferred. None of it felt like surrender in the moment. It felt like love. It felt like effort. It felt like you were becoming a better version of yourself. But then one night, you're sitting with your oldest friends and you can't remember how to be comfortable. You're monitoring your own sentences before they leave your mouth. You're calculating whether this joke, this opinion, this laugh is the approved version. You go home and she says you were finally normal tonight. And you feel relief, which is the moment you should feel most afraid, because now you're optimizing yourself for her approval ratings. And you don't know what you actually think anymore. You don't know what you want to eat, what music you'd choose if she wasn't in the car, what you'd say if you knew there were no consequences. You love her. That part is still true. But somewhere in the loving, you handed over the editing rights to your own personality, and she didn't steal them. You gave them away, one small apology at a time. This isn't a story about a controlling partner. This is a story about what happens when you forget that who you are is not a problem to be fixed. The Stoics had a word for it, hegemonikon, your ruling faculty, the part of you that decides, judges, and responds. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor, most powerful man in the known world, wrote in his private journal that no one could harm the hegemonikon without your permission, not an enemy, not a critic, not even someone who loved you. Here's the plain version. There are things outside your control and things outside it. Your opinions, your choices, your character, yours. Other people's preferences, reactions, and demands, theirs. The Stoics weren't saying relationships don't matter. They were saying that yourself is not negotiable property in a relationship. Think of it this way. A river doesn't stop being a river because someone wants it to be a lake. You can build a dam. You can redirect it, but the water still moves the way. Water moves. It is what it is. When you abandon your hegemonikon, your inner center, you're not becoming a better partner. You're becoming a reflection. And reflections can't actually love anyone. They can only mirror Epictetus, who was born a slave and became history's most respected thinkers, said this: "Seek not that the things which happen should happen as you wish, but wish the things which happen to be as they are, and you will have a tranquil flow of life." Apply that inward. Stop wishing you were the version she's designing. Start knowing the version that already exists. This doesn't mean stubbornness. It doesn't mean refusing to grow. Real growth has a direction that comes from inside you. Reshaping yourself to end someone else's discomfort isn't growth. It's erosion. The concept you need is called the dichotomy of control applied to identity. Your character is in your control. Her comfort with your character is not. The moment you confuse those two things, you will spend the rest of the relationship trying to solve a problem that was never yours to solve. It's Sunday morning. You're making breakfast, playing the playlist you've had for 6 years. She comes downstairs, wrinkles her nose. "Can you put something else on?" This is so you. She means it as a small comment. Maybe she doesn't even realize the shape of it, but inside you, the calculation begins instantly. "So you? Is that bad? Does my taste embarrass her? Is this another thing I need to fix?" You say, "Sure, what do you want?" She shrugs. "I don't know, just not this." You turn it off entirely. Now there's silence, and you stand at the stove feeling like you've been lightly erased. You think, maybe my taste is too much. Maybe I should listen to what she listens to. Maybe I should learn to like what she likes. By the time you serve the eggs, you've internally agreed to audition a new version of yourself on Monday. You'll figure out what kind of music the approved you is supposed to love. She eats, she smiles, she says thanks. You feel the relief again, but the playlist is gone, and next week it'll be something else. The hiking boots you love, the way you tell stories that run too long, the specific, particular way you are, disappearing by track, story by story, Sunday by Sunday, same morning, same comment. Can you put something else on? This is so you. This time you pause, not to calculate, but to notice so you. Yes, that's correct. It is I chose it. I've loved it for 6 years. It was playing when I drove through Nevada at 2 a.m. and felt completely alive. You don't say any of that out loud. You don't need to defend a playlist. You turn to her and say, warmly, without edge, I like this one. I'll put your stuff on after. Deal? She pauses. Maybe she's expected the instant accommodation. Maybe she's surprised. She says, fine. She means it fine. Not angry, just adjusted. You keep the playlist on. You cook. You feel your feet on the floor. You feel like yourself, which is a sensation you've been slowly losing access to and only now recognize as missing. Later, she's dancing slightly to the last song. She doesn't announce it, but she's there. This is the thing the Stoics understood. Holding your center doesn't push people away. It gives them something real to stand next to. A reflection has no gravity. A person does. After breakfast, she says, okay, what's the story behind this band? And you tell her the whole Nevada thing. She laughs at the part about the gas station. You didn't fight. You didn't fold. You stayed, and she walked toward you. That's what the dichotomy of control looks like. In a kitchen on a Sunday morning, 3 months in, she says it clearly for the first time. I need you to be more ambitious. Your friends are buying houses, and you're still talking about that trip to Japan like it's a personality. You feel the floor shift, more ambitious. You work hard. You save money intentionally. You chose a life that has space for experience over accumulation. That was a decision, not a failure. But she's looking at you like it's a flaw. And here's where it goes wrong. You agree too fast. You're right, you say. I've been too comfortable. I should be thinking bigger. You don't believe it, but you say it. Over the next 6 weeks, you start researching career pivots you don't want. You cancel the Japan savings account. You start using the word investment more, even though it feels like wearing a costume. She seems satisfied. You seem purposeful, but at 11 p.m., alone in the bathroom, you look at yourself and feel nothing. Not sad, not angry, just absent, like someone took the main character out and left the set running. You've traded your actual life for the set dressing of a life she approves of. And the terrible part, the part that will ache for years, is that you did it voluntarily. Nobody forced you. You just couldn't tolerate her disappointment long enough to find out what was on the other side of it. Same conversation. I need you to be more ambitious. Your friends are buying houses, and you're still talking about that trip to Japan like it's a personality. This time, you don't agree, but you also don't explode. You sit with it for a moment. You feel the pull to cave. You recognize the pull. You name it internally. This is me about to abandon myself to end her discomfort. Just naming it creates a half second of space. In that space, you access the dichotomy. Her opinion of your life priorities. Outside your control, your actual life priorities. Yours completely. I hear that you want a partner who's building towards certain things. That's legitimate. And I want to understand what that actually looks like to you. You're not caving. You're not fighting. You're opening a real conversation instead of a performance. She talks. You listen. You realize part of it is fear. She grew up with financial instability, and your ease about money looks like carelessness to her. That's information that's real. That's something you can work with. You say, I'm not avoiding ambition. I'm choosing a different shape for it. Japan isn't escapism for me. It's a concrete plan I've saved 3 years for. I want to understand your fear here, but I can't change who I am to manage it. She goes quiet, not angry quiet, thinking quiet. She says, I didn't know you'd saved for 3 years. You hadn't told her because you'd already started apologizing for it before she could object. This is what happens when you hold your hegemonikon. The real conversation becomes possible. She sees you, not the accommodating shadow of you. And she decides, with full information, whether she wants to be with the actual person. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. Both outcomes are more honest than a relationship built on a version of you that doesn't exist. Marcus Aurelius wrote, You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your relationship is an outside event. Your character is not. Protect the right one. Tonight, before you sleep, do this. Open your notes app, sprout the heading. Who I am without apology. Set a 10-minute timer. Sprout every answer to these questions without editing. What do I genuinely enjoy that I've been quietly apologizing for? What opinion do I hold that I've stopped saying out loud? What part of my personality have I been performing as smaller than it actually is? Don't explain, don't justify, just list. Tomorrow morning, pick one item from that list. One specific concrete thing. Reintroduce it into your day without announcing it. Don't make it a statement. Don't warn anyone. Just do it as if it's completely normal. Because it is. If your partner comments, don't defend, don't apologize, say, yeah, that's me. And hold eye contact for exactly 2 seconds longer than is comfortable. Do this every day for 2 weeks. One item reintroduced without ceremony. Pay attention to how your body feels when you do it. That steadiness is your hegemonikon waking back up. That's not arrogance. That's not selfishness. That is the baseline from which real love actually operates. You cannot love someone well from a position of self-erasure. You can only manage them. And management is not intimacy. Keep the list, add to it. It's your map back. The Stoics didn't teach detachment from love. They taught attachment to self within love. Those are not the same thing. You can be fully present in a relationship and still be fully yourself. In fact, you can only truly be present as yourself. Everything else is a performance, and performances exhaust both people eventually. The person you've been softening yourself for deserves the real version of you. Not because it's fair to you, though it is, but because a relationship built on an edited self will always feel hollow from the inside. You'll sense it. They'll sense it. And neither of you will be able to name why becoming free doesn't mean becoming alone. It means becoming someone another person can actually find. Because you stopped hiding. If this hit something real for you, follow for more on Stoic philosophy and modern relationships. There's a whole series here, because this conversation is long overdue.